It was supposed to be a harmless initiation. Every year, new members of our college's outdoor club had to complete a solo walk through what locals call the Screaming Tunnel, just outside Niagara Falls. It's not a real cave, more like an abandoned rail tunnel, but it's dark, cold, and soaked with a century of urban legends. They say a little girl was set on fire inside it, and if you light a match at midnight, you'll hear her scream. I'd heard the story before, rolled my eyes like everyone else, and figured I'd walk through, light a match, get a scare, and come out laughing. We arrived just before midnight. The others stayed at the entrance, their flashlights dimmed, watching with amused anticipation as I stepped into the darkness alone. The first thing that hit me was the temperature. It dropped instantly, like I'd walked into a freezer. My breath curled in the air, and my footsteps echoed off the damp limestone walls. The tunnel wasn't long, maybe 120 feet, but it felt endless. Each step seemed to stretch the tunnel farther than it was before. Halfway through, I stopped and flicked open the Zippo lighter they'd given me. The flames sputtered, then died instantly. Not like it was blown out. There was no breeze. It was like the air had been sucked away entirely. I tried again. The lighter sparked, then went dead cold. That's when I heard it. Faint crying. It was so soft I thought it was in my head at first, like remembering a sound. But then, it grew louder. Wet, desperate sobs that echoed from every direction at once. And then came the scream. It was piercing. It didn't sound human. It was pure pain. I dropped the lighter and turned to run, but something grabbed my ankle. I swear on my life. It wasn't clothing or a rock or my imagination. It was cold and small, like a child's hand. I screamed and yanked free, tearing the skin on my knees and palms as I scrambled to escape. I didn't look back. I couldn't. I burst out of the tunnel, gasping, shaking. The others were pale. One of them said, "We heard it too." I never went near that tunnel again. I still can't light a match without my stomach twisting. If your skin just crawled a little, hit like, and if you're still watching with the lights off, you're brave enough to subscribe. I was part of a volunteer rescue team in Utah back in 2009, and nothing, no horror story, no nightmare, comes close to what I saw in Nutty Putty Cave. That cave is a twisting, narrow hell of rock, with passages no wider than a man's shoulders. People say it's dangerous, but John Edward Jones thought he could handle it. He was experienced, just exploring with his brother, but he took a wrong turn, crawling into what he thought was the birth canal, a tight vertical shaft, and got stuck. When we got the call, I was the third responder to arrive. I wasn't prepared for how deep he was lodged, upside down, completely wedged. His arms were pinned, and his chest couldn't expand properly. He was dying slowly from the pressure on his lungs. I could hear him from the shaft above, whispering prayers and trying to stay calm. He talked about his daughter, his unborn son. He asked us to sing hymns to keep him sane. We tried everything, drills, ropes, a pulley system. Nothing worked. Hours passed. Then something strange started happening. The cave began humming, not from the equipment. It was a low vibration, like something alive, breathing through the stone itself. And I started hearing something no one else claimed they could hear. Voices whispering my name from deeper in the rock. They said things I can't repeat, things no person should ever know. I started to panic. I told the others we weren't alone. They thought I was just exhausted, but I know what I heard. Something ancient lives inside that cave. Something that watches, that waits. The rope eventually snapped during one last pull. John slid even deeper. We lost him. His body was never recovered. The state sealed the cave entrance soon after. But sometimes, when I lie awake at night, I still hear that humming. Did you just check your surroundings? Hit like if you did, and subscribe before something checks back.
I have always loved hiking alone, call it therapy or escape, but I feel most alive when I'm off-grid, just me and the wild. On a solo trip through the Brecon Beacons in Wales, I spotted a cave I'd never seen before, right near an old quarry. It looked natural, but unmarked. No fencing, no warnings. Just a narrow, almost inviting crack in the hillside. Curiosity got the best of me. I stepped in. At first, it was beautiful. The walls shimmered slightly from moisture, and soft water dripped somewhere deeper in. I kept walking. The entrance vanished behind a curve. The air was thick and oddly warm. My flashlight began flickering after about 10 minutes in. That's when I noticed something bizarre. The tunnel had changed. It had forked into two paths, but there was no fork when I entered. No footprints, no wind. I should have turned back, but I didn't. I took the left path. After a few more minutes, I spotted something on the wall, writing. With shaking hands, I wiped at the limestone dust and saw 3 words scratched in with a rock or something sharp. Elsie, turn back. I froze. No one knew I was here. I hadn't told a soul where I was going that morning. Before I could react, I heard breathing. Close, right behind me. I turned and saw myself. My exact copy. Clothes soaked in mud, hair dripping, eyes too wide, too dark. She didn't blink. She just whispered, "It's not your way anymore," and vanished. I ran. I ran blindly in any direction I could, and the cave shifted around me. Walls moved. Entrances vanished. I tripped, fell, blacked out. I woke up just outside the entrance hours later, with no idea how I got there. My shoes were gone. My skin was wet, like I'd been dragged through water. When I went back a week later with a friend, there was no cave, just solid stone. If this feels like something you shouldn't be watching alone, like the video and subscribe so we're haunted together.
The last one whispered. This one screams, "Hit play, if you dare."